Hi everybody! I'm here today to show you a very quick time-lapse demonstration of the 8-head method that I use for drawing figures in proportion. This is a drawing technique that I teach in my class on OutSchool called Faces, Hands, and Feet, Drawing People, and it's for young learners and everyone does really well with it. And so I wanted to take a minute and just kind of show it to you. And if you want information about this class, to sign up or about any of my other classes, please feel free to go to www.myartclass.online, where you can find a list of classes that I offer, and including Faces, Hands, and Feet, Drawing People. So without further ado, let's have a look at the 8-head method. So I ask people to start off by creating a bounding box where the character should be going. And once we have compositionally the area the character is going to take up, then we take that length and we split it in half. And we split the half in half and those in half as well. So by the time that's done, you should have essentially 8 equal parts, give or take. The center, from the center line up, is where your torso and head are going to go. Here I'm starting with the rib cage. Often I will start with the head. Now I use what I call the skeleton stick man, and he just helps me knock out those landmarks like the hips and the pelvis and the amount of distance from the elbow to the fingers and the fingers to the thigh. And there I have it. I have my 8-head method. And from here I can go in and I can now start to bulk out my stickman skeleton. And that includes giving him or her a neck and arms and hands and clothes or costumes. And in a nutshell, we've just used this 8-head method. There are some other landmarking parts that I like to include in the lesson, but this is the gist of it. And if you practice this particular approach to drawing figures and start to play with the poses, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that your general humanoid proportions are going to come out good. They're going to come out pretty okay. You might have to play a little bit with hands and feet and elbows and foreshortening, of course, depending on the pose. So this is a technique that I introduce in a couple of my classes. Faces, Hands, and Feet, Drawing People on OutSchool is one of them, where we build up to this stage. And if you or another artist in your family, maybe one of your young artists, sign up for more than one of my classes, you may find yourself practicing this particular method a few times. But honestly, the more you practice this, the better you're going to get at it, and the more you will understand it and be able to play with it and push the boundaries. So yeah, let's finish up this. We're putting on a few finishing details here. The feet and the hands and the face proportions are all other things that we talk about in that class and in some of my other drawing classes. But let's think about the 8-head method for another character. So again, thinking about the composition, divide up that space and make sure that, now we're all doing pretty neutral poses here, but you want to make sure that those landmarks are hitting in the right spot. The rib cage and the pelvis and the head and shoulders and elbows all happen above the halfway point. And the legs actually take up a significant portion. Let's try it one more time, but this time let's make a character that is sort of in a moving pose or crouching pose. How would that even work? Well, same thing. Let's just apply what we know. The lengths of things might skew a little bit, but it still fits into this 8-head method. The last one that I'm going to show you here is going to be how to look from a different angle. And we're going to treat it like a cube, and we're going to fill that cube in using foreshortening. So you kind of have to know your perspective, and I do offer perspective drawing class as well, which you might be interested in. But combining perspective and proportion really opens the gates a little bit here. And that's the 8-head method. I hope you enjoy this. Feel free to ask any questions and check out www.myartclass.online for more.